Good afternoon, guys and girls. Welcome to our grammar portion for today. I'm thrilled to do this because for Russian people, this grammar is extremely mind-boggling, confusing. And what I love to do is I love to help you guys. I love to help people. And I'm pretty good, I can say, at explaining present perfect and helping you feel so comfortable with it. And let's get to it, right? So today we're going to look at 4 reasons for using present perfect. Okay, so present perfect, it's about something in the past, right? But so is past simple. Now, whenever we use past simple, it's always in reference to a finished action in the past. And when is important, okay? When this action happens in the past is important, or maybe when we say some word like before, after that, or next, that elicits the idea that the action is finished, so we'd use past perfect or past simple, right? However, there's some other key words or some themes or ideas which tell us we need to use present perfect, which is what we're getting to right now. So, the first one I'm going to tell you about is experience in the past, okay? Now, when we talk about experience, I mean, this is about your entire life. And when is not important here. So like I can tell you, I have lived in Japan. That does not mean now, right? I lived in Japan 20 years ago about, 18 years ago. I lived in Japan 18 years ago. Now 18 years ago, that's when that happened and it finished then. All right, so it's not happening now. It's not just about in general experience, it's about a specific situation and a specific time in the past. So that's past simple. I have visited France. I have been to Barcelona a few times. I have never been to Southeast Asia. Those are all ideas of experience, and it just means like from the day I was born all the way to today, okay? Now, the second reason we use present perfect is for an action which started in the past, which continues to the present moment, right? So I can say to you like, what? I have known Vadim for about 3 years. For 3 years, that's a period of time here, which means it started 3 years ago and continues to today. I could also say I have known Vadim since 2016. Since is the beginning of that action, and it repeats and repeats and repeats and continues to the present moment. Some nuances with this. You can use present perfect continuous to express more or less the same idea. However, when we use present perfect continuous, we can only use dynamic verbs, right? Like, I have been living in St. Petersburg since 2010, right? I can't say, I have been knowing Vadim since 2016, because to know is what we call a stative verb. A stative verb is more or less an emotion, a feeling, something mental, something in your mind, right? So like maybe to remember, maybe to forget, to belong, to agree, to decide. Those types of verbs you can't use in any continuous form, whether it be future continuous, past continuous, present continuous, doesn't matter. Stative verbs do not get used in continuous form with a few exceptions. Your senses you can use in continuous form, like to taste, to feel, to hear, and so on. Then those can be used in continuous form. Okay? I hope you're following me on this. If not, of course, you guys will be asking me questions later on our WhatsApp chat group, and I'll be happy to assist you further. Okay. So we also use a present perfect for like a past action with a present result. So let's say today I have written a letter, but now I need to find a stamp, right? Or he has missed the bus, now he must walk. So that past action is connected to the present because it has an influence, or like vliani, right? Influence on the present. So it's another reason we use present perfect. And the last one we're going to talk about today is we use present perfect when the reference of time is unfinished. So let's say like this week, this year, this month, this century, this decade. All of those things mean that time is not finished, which means we use present perfect. So I can say what? I have not been to the cinema this week, but I went to the cinema last week. Past simple here. Because what? Last year, last week, last month, last anything, that always references finish time. So then we would be using past simple or maybe past perfect as well. Correct? What else? Exception with this. So let's imagine now it's evening. Morning is finished. Okay, so this morning means today's morning, right? So I would say that I drank a cup of coffee this morning, meaning it's not morning now. However, if it is morning now, it is still morning, I would say I have drunk a cup of coffee this morning. Okay, so you gotta think about those things too. Some nuances. What else about present perfect continuous? We just use simple construction, have been, verb ing, right? I have been living in St. Petersburg since 2010. We have been communicating through in this marathon for the past 3 days. Okay, things which started in the past continue to the present moment as well. With that being said, what's really important now is to study your irregular verbs, because in any perfect tense, future perfect, past perfect, present perfect, we are always using the third form of a verb, right? Like seesaw, seen, know, knew, known, sleep, slept, slept, eat, ate, eaten. We want to make those things habitual, natural, reflexive, correct? So, get into the habit. Study these irregular verbs. Maybe try to learn 10 a day. Repeat them until you remember them. Once those things become natural for you and reflexive, it'll make putting these constructions together much easier as well. Okay. Yeah. With that being said, I wish you success with your tasks. Write me any questions you have, and I'll be happy to answer you. Just last word of advice about this: don't try to translate present perfect into past simple, into Russian language. I mean, excuse me, because present perfect and past simple in Russian language directly translates into the same thing, and you'll just be confused with that. So now you need to use the English part of your brain for this. Well, good luck, and I'll see you tomorrow.